I'm just gonna be fairly honest right now. I didn't think I was gonna make this the video of the week, but then I was surprised by the fact that a lot of you guys wanted to see this video. So I made it very known on my behind the scenes account, which is Behind the Studio by Chris, that I actually got a number 6. And I'm not talking about the number 6 that everyone sees when you search up the number 6. I'm talking about the original OG number 6, the one that was not available for longer than a year. She was only available for a short amount of time, and she is one of the rarest American Girl dolls to get. Her and like the original number 18 without the bang, those are two of the hardest American Girl dolls to get. Also, just to mention, this photo of the number 6 quote unquote keeps getting shared around, and this is not a number 6 doll. This is a photoshopped version of what number 6 would have looked like if she had even made it to the blue I Like Your Style outfit. This doll does not exist. So I feel like a lot of people have been sharing photos of this number 6 doll that doesn't exist. There's nowhere in the world that you can find this doll because this was a photoshopped image that has been spread around too often. So when you're referring to a number 6, just refer to her as this photo, not this photo. I don't want other collectors to devalue how rare she is by sharing fake ideas of how long she was actually available, because she was only available for less than a year until American Girl decided to get rid of her and change her for the blonde, Felicity-eyed number 6 that we all know today. Anyways, a lot of people love to talk about the fact that number 4 is rare, but she's not rare, she's just expensive. And number 1, same thing. I feel like number 1's really rare, and this is my number 1 right here. Someone listed her on eBay as a doll that had chopped hair, but it just turned out her braid had been undone, so of course it looked crazy. But number 6 is one of those dolls that every real American Girl doll collector knows is extremely hard to get, and if you do find her, she costs so much money. It is actually ridiculous. The most I have ever seen this doll sell for is $1,500, which is a lot of money for an American Girl doll. I can happily sit here and say that I did not pay that amount of money for an American Girl doll, and if you ever see me swiping my card for an American Girl doll at that price point, please slap me across the face, because I have lost my mind if you see me paying $1,500 for an American Girl doll. But that's just me. That's not me trying to be judgmental. That's just me stating my own personal way about budgeting for my American Girl dolls. So before we get into it, I just want to state that I'm not going to be giving you guys a specific number of how much I paid for her. I know how collectors are when they hear someone getting a great deal on a very rare American Girl doll, and honestly, a lot of the behind the scenes stories I'm going to be sharing right now kind of explain further as to why I don't want to give you guys a number, just because I know a lot of collectors can get very aggressive and low-key start bullying someone because of the deal that they landed. Especially when it comes to a number 6, a lot of people get upset and they start to message people saying, oh, I was supposed to get her, how dare you, you know, those kinds of things. So I'm not gonna be sharing specifically where I got her, all of those things. If you recognize her, by all means, you don't need to comment it. I just want this to be as anonymous as possible of how I got her, how much I paid for her, all of those things. So hopefully you guys can understand that. If you came here for a number, please don't message me in the comments. Please don't DM me and ask me. I'm not gonna give you guys a number. So that's not what this is. I am gonna, however, share with you guys how I almost landed to other number 6s, because I just want people to be aware of kind of the aggressive culture that is collecting American Girl dolls, and some collectors kind of go above and beyond to ruin someone else getting a deal, or they feel entitled to a doll if they see someone else paying a very low price for it. So I just want to share these cautionary tales, I guess you could say. So once upon a time, back when I was releasing my how to save on American Girl video, I talked about how I almost landed a number 6 before, and I just want to go into detail about that specific story because, again, just as a cautionary tale. So as you guys know, in that specific video, I talk about how you need to constantly be looking on Mercari, eBay, Craigslist, all of those different things, because you could be missing an opportunity for a great deal. And it just so happens that it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, me and my significant other were in bed, and I was just scrolling through eBay. And as I'm refreshing the page, I realized that there was an American Girl doll, Pleasant Company doll, that was listed for only around $100. And as I looked at the American Girl doll, I realized, oh my God, this is a number 6. And so without even batting an eyelash, I paid the price, and I was just so unbelievably excited. I looked at my significant other. I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting this doll for forever. I can't believe I just landed her for this price, so on and so forth. The next day, the seller messages me and she tells me that she had to cancel the order because she couldn't find the doll. Something was happening where they were moving. And I just said, that's fine, whatever. Just let me know when you relist her. A couple of days later, she ends up messaging me, telling me that a lot of collectors were messaging her and telling her to cancel the order and that they would pay double, triple, quadruple the price that I had paid for her, and that they were willing to pay X, Y, and Z for the doll. And so she canceled the order altogether and basically said, hey, sorry, but I'm going to relist her. And the doll ended up selling for over like $900 because she was in the condition that she was in, and I was upset. Now, the second time around, again, I was searching American Girl stuff on a different day, and I found another American Girl doll number 6, but it wasn't listed as a number 6. It was listed as a number 16. And the pictures of her just showed me that she was in perfect condition. And of course, I immediately purchased her, immediately snagged her. But then again, collectors started to message the seller and tell her, hey, this doll is worth triple, quadruple times more. Let me buy her from you, blah, 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 blah. Another eBay auction was put up and she sold for another amount of money, astronomical prices. And I was once again upset by the fact that the seller didn't know who she was, and all of the collectors kind of went in and ravenously decided to message the seller. Now, with this specific number 6, that didn't happen. So apparently they had listed her on a different website and it sold. And then the next day they were bombarded again with 20 plus messages from collectors saying, hey, we'll pay you more. And basically a bidding war started behind the scenes. And so I thought nothing of it. I was like, whatever, whoever buys it, by all means, they can spend X, Y, and Z of money for it. I don't even care. And then later that day, I realized that she was actually listed on a different website, and I was surprised to see her again. And I noticed that the collector said that basically they just needed the money, that the doll, they knew how much it was worth, but that they were just looking for some quick cash or quick money, and they didn't really want to deal with the process of putting her in auction. And at the time it said that it was sold, so I didn't really think anything of it. And I kind of just messaged the seller and said, hey, if it falls through, put me on next. And then basically what ended up happening was, I guess the seller was in desperate need of money, like within the, I don't know, hour or within the next couple of days, because the seller ended up messaging me and telling me, hey, if you're still interested, the first person didn't pay yet, and then the second person hasn't responded to me, you were third person in line. If you can pay me in the next literal like 10 minutes, I will send the doll out to you next thing tomorrow. So I saw the new price, we negotiated a little bit, and before I knew it, it was honestly an offer I couldn't refuse. And so I paid her within the 10 minutes, and I got her a little bit lower than the asking price, so I wasn't mad at it whatsoever. And I of course shared with her that I had 2 other offers for a number 6 slip through, so I needed her honest like promise that she was actually going to give me the doll for the price. And she said she wasn't like that she was in desperate need of the money and she just wanted this doll out and the money in her hands. So I said, okay, if you can promise me that, I will send you the money and I will purchase her from you, and basically cut off all collectors that are going to give you any more amounts of money. And she agreed, and before I knew it, I paid her and the doll was mine. And I kept telling my significant other, there is no way I'm going to find this doll for this price ever again, so I just have to suck it up and buy it now. So I bought it, and before I knew it, she showed up on my door. And let me just show you guys what she looked like once I received her. I posted this photo on my behind the scenes account, which is Behind the Studio by Chris, and everyone in the comments was freaking out telling me, oh my god, I hope she packaged her better. And I did message the seller, and of course she packaged her a lot better because the doll is of course worth more, and she understood that, so she packaged her up better. Now this doll came in a braid, but she had no other problems with her. The one major flaw that she has that I feel can be a hit or miss with collectors is the fact that she came from the home of a smoker. My Emily doll also came from the home of a smoker, and over time the smell of cigarette smoke kind of just leaves the doll's body, especially if they're displayed and they're just like out in the open and they're no longer in that environment. So when I opened her up, immediately I was like, okay, she smells like cigarette smoke, whatever. But honestly, once I undressed her and I went in with a magic eraser to clean her up, already some of the harsher tones of cigarette smoke left her body. So I knew that over time, honestly, this cigarette smoke ordeal was gonna be gone and I wasn't gonna have to worry about it anymore. And also she's gonna be displayed. I'm not up in her hair smelling her 24/7, so it doesn't matter. Once I got her, immediately put her into a new outfit, and I took out the braid. I steamed out the weird crimp that was in her hair and some of the frizz. And honestly, you guys, again, brand spanking new. It seemed like someone had redressed her, kept her hair in a braid, and then either A, displayed her, or B, forgot she existed. But look how shiny and new she is. She has zero flaws, and I say that wholeheartedly because I'm very anal about my American Girl dolls, but her wig was silky smooth, her body clean as can be. Like, I went in with a magic eraser and not a single shine mark on her body. Her skin was very clean. There was no dirt, nothing. So I don't know her backstory. I don't know what she went through. If I'm being honest, I feel like the seller probably didn't want to resell her for a more expensive price because of the fact that she smelled like cigarette smoke. Honestly, I can't complain whatsoever. I paid so little for her. So again, I really cannot be picky with this doll whatsoever. Look at how shiny her hair is, you guys. Like, I am so happy. I understand why this doll is so rare. I do also understand as to why people pay so much for her. She is a unicorn. She, when you really put her up against other American Girl dolls, looks like a completely different doll. I know that the combination may be a little basic for some people, but her black hair and her brown eyes just make her look very unique. And I do see why people brand her as a unicorn, because she is a rare girly to have in your collection. All right, you guys, that is my brand new girly. I have no names for her yet whatsoever, so of course, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys would name this doll specifically. I feel like with the rarer girlies, giving them a name kind of devalues them in a way. I don't know, that's just me. I keep calling her number 6 because I feel like no name is great enough to withhold who she is in my collection and how rare she is. So let me know in the comments down below what you would name your number 6. And of course, share with me your thoughts on the stories I share with you guys. Do you think that it is fair for other collectors to message a seller whenever they sell something incorrectly, or do behind the scenes bidding wars, all of those different things? I shared those stories just to kind of throw it out in the air, something that happens a lot with collectors and sellers. So of course, comment down below and let me know what your opinions are on those stories. Am I crazy? Am I correct? Am I, you know, whatever. Just give me your opinions down below. I of course will not be mad, just of course be respectful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. You guys can follow me on my Instagram, which is at the Doll Studio by Chris. My behind the scenes account is behind the studio by Chris, and make sure to like this video, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.